I'm Walter Day, the father of esports, and you're watching Matty Mo's Arcade.
So basically, this is a mail-order, do-it-yourself arcade kit. You can get every single thing you need, basically from one person on eBay. They'll sell you the cabinet, which is everything in here. It's got the T-molding, it's got the plastic or acrylic for the marquee, for the control panel. It's got a board to mount the monitor to. It has the T-molding, I think I said. Basically everything you need for the cabinet, all the hardware, all that good stuff. They also sell the artwork that you put on the outside on your control panel, and they sell the guts, the board. Maybe you have to buy your own board, I think. Yeah, you have to buy your own board. They sell everything else. You can get in trouble for selling the game ROMs, of course. But before we get into shredding the cardboard, I want to give you a warning. If you are bored with details, I want to give the information out in case anybody wants to buy this for themselves after seeing the video and want to come back and get the info. And if you don't want to listen to all that, just skip forward 5 minutes, and probably knowing me, probably about 10 minutes. I can put a little time stamp kind of thing over here on the bottom of the screen. Anyway, basically on eBay there's two people that are selling kits like this that are, bare cabinets. You can get just your basic cabinet for about $100 or so, and then there's different tiers that you can get to have the art, the hardware, the plastic, the marquee bracket, stuff like this. But this is the listing that I ordered from. What I liked about it is he had a lot of the extras, and this is a deluxe kit, and he wasn't charging an arm and a leg for each extra, which the other guy was. I think it was probably like $25, $30 cheaper going with this guy. Things that it does include, the cam lock fasteners, which is like IKEA furniture, the T-molding, all the required hardware, the monitor mounting board, the plexi, the bezel, control panel, and the marquee mounting. They offer customized control panels, like your number of players, the number of buttons, and the layout and stuff. I kind of had a little bit of an issue where they wanted to know what size holes I wanted on my buttons, and I'm of course going to use standard half buttons. And I didn't see, I saw on there that it was mentioned that they could change it, but not that they needed to know what I needed. And I didn't enter that in my my message for what I wanted on my customization, so it kind of held me up for a little bit. Not a big deal though. We got the package in time. I have to wait on a board from China, so there's no harm, no foul. But this guy's kit was $159.95, and I do have his information here. Let me tell you what that is, and then we'll come back to this. I think I went to the wrong page. Hang on 1 second. Oh, I don't see it. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the seller for the cabinet is Creative Arcade Systems. It's on eBay. It has a 98.6 seller rating, which is pretty good. And their actual business name is ABC Woodworking LLC. Like I said, I don't want to blame them for anything, stuff in wording like that. I mean, it could be my fault, and I just didn't see the right word, so I'm not going to blame them in any fashion. There is a slight hole in here in the shipping, and I did have some issues with FedEx delivering it and not delivering it to the right address, or lying to me, basically. I was on my porch waiting on it, and I got a notification on my phone saying that it was here, or he had tried to deliver it, and nobody was home. And I was definitely waiting. So I'm not going to blame the seller for that. We'll open it up. We'll check it out. Hopefully this isn't anything. There's just vacancy right here, so I don't feel any damage, so fingers crossed on that. But I'm going to get the knife, and actually I already got that set up, so let's just go ahead and do that. That way I don't have to break. Less editing. So these are pretty easy. There's no worry on getting electrocuted if you're not good at this kind of stuff. Don't plug it in and you're not going to get electrocuted. You can go ahead and do all the wiring you want and learn. But I'm going to do this whole thing on camera, step by step. I was actually kind of glad that I've been talking to this customer for a while. He's been wanting a multi-K, and I was trying to, he likes lots and lots of games. And I told him that, you know, the more games you have, the more time you spend in the menu looking at the games, and the less time you have playing the games. And so we went, you know, from a MAME cabinet or something like that with thousands and thousands, or even a Pandora's box, to just down to a game L. Which I think we're going with the horizontal board. It has 750 games. And it's not perfect either, but looks like our shipping was okay. Got some foam board that was damaged. Looks alright. Everything looks okay. Make sure you guys can see. Let's come over here a little bit. Let me adjust these lights and I'll be right back so you can see a little bit better. Got this set up so my face isn't shiny. Alright, I'm going to try to pull this stuff out and just lay it out for now, and then do an inventory to make sure we have everything that we need. And then I'll do a little research on these instructions. I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. I built mini cocktails, several, probably like between 25 and 50 stand-up full-size multi-Ks. A bunch of little minis that we made out of the poker cabinets. It's all pretty much the same. Just want to be careful not to make any marks on the wood. But I do have art for it. And the art is already here. So at the end of the video, because I guess the art is going to be the next thing to do, I'm going to pull that out and we'll check it out and make sure it's all there and we have what we're supposed to get in that delivery. This video really won't take long. It's got spots for 2 speakers. See what it looks like when it's finished. It's hard to judge it. I've got the monitor card sitting right here just for this reason. Laid some towels down so I can set it on something soft. Packed well, I'll give them that. It survived whatever gouge that was. So even though the driver lied and got lost or whatever happened to him, they did a great job packing it. So A+ on that one. Positive feedback. I hate cutting plexi, so there was no way I was going to do this. Basically, on this thing, I had an open budget, but you want to set some kind of limit because you want to make something off your work. And so the absolute top dollar was going to be $6, and then that wasn't going to leave a whole lot for me. So ideally, we were looking at 4 or 5, and I think I came in right around 4. There were a few things like the monitor I bought at a resale shop, so I didn't have to worry about that. It was like $5. And there's one that's right by me that always has them. Sorry, I need to get a drink. The T-molding looks like it's pre-cut, kind of mangled. Here are the sides. this will be our arcade. Royalty-free background music. Okay, so it's going to look something like this. I can see it. It's about the right size. It's still hard for me to get used to playing on an LCD, but like everything new is on an LCD pretty much. So maybe something like this. That'll work. I did not see any instructions in here. It's probably a file for me to download or something. So I'm going to pause this just for a minute, and then we will kind of get this set up and situated and get ourselves a work area. Throw this thing together. It shouldn't take very long. I think we'll probably get it done less than an hour. Let's do a little inventory of what parts we have. That way, if we're missing something, we can at least compare notes later. Okay, so we have, this is, I guess, a back piece. Yeah, I think that's part of the back. Then we have a control panel. And this is the admin panel. And then we have a speaker panel. And then we have just a blank, and this is probably the top. So this stuff is so dirty. I'm going to get my jersey all dirty. Hang on a second, let me change. There, now I can get dirty. So we have those. We have two marquee brackets, I think these are. We have two hinges. We have two pieces to each one. And a big bag of hardware, screws and stuff, and I took those little plastic pieces out. They were in there. And let's see, here is the plexi. So we have a bezel, a control panel, a admin panel, and a marquee. And the last pieces are the back. Actually, yeah, I think that is the back. Back, that's the bottom, and two sides. So, looks like we have everything, I do believe. So, we're going to move on to the next step. Ignore these little white pieces here. I'm from the future, and you guys haven't done this yet. Bad news. There are no instructions. One thing I do know that we're going to have to do is take these little IKEA things. See if I can show you. And they have like a little screw that goes in sideways here, and it locks them together. So we need to put all of these in these little half circle holes. And there's a flat spot, as you can see on here. I think you can see. And so you just want to put the flat spot where the flat spot's at, of course. So we'll get that lined up. And they won't go all the way in. That one got pretty close, actually. I almost pushed that one in. And so, aside from the utility knife to get into the box, we're about to start our adventure with the first needed tool, a rubber mallet. So this is how I'm taking care of this. I'm doing it on the floor because it's a nice flat surface. And like I was saying earlier, I always put it down on something rather than just on a dirty floor. Even though my rug's probably dirty. And you want to do the Mr. Miyagi thing. You don't want to beat on it. No, I feel that in the tripod. So I'm going to finish doing that. There's about this many. So 15, something like that. I'm going to finish doing those, and then I'll figure out what our next step's going to be. This should be an adventure. Like, who wants to watch somebody read the instructions and do something properly? Let's watch a train wreck. Much more fun. On this next step here, we're going to take these little screws. They're a little different looking than a normal screw. They're kind of fat on one end. And we're going to screw them into these little spots where it looks like a dowel rod would go. And that is what is going to fasten to the little white piece. You'll have the stud sticking up like this, and the piece will come on. However, it slides on with the wood on there, like this or like this. And then you'll turn this with the Phillips head, and it closes over that little stud right there. So let's see if my little tiny screwdriver has enough ass to get this on here. Not bad. So we get these on every piece, and then we are pretty much almost done with this step. It doesn't take a whole lot to get it assembled. Maybe an extra hand. But I am going to... I said we were going to do all this together, but just screwing these little things in. There's no need to watch me do that 15, 20 times. Be right back. So the two side pieces there are the only ones that have these studs in them. So that's the only ones you have to worry about. In my kit, I had 2 extra screws, or little studs, whatever you want to say. So I'm assuming this is the bottom here. Oh, and that other piece that I didn't know what it was is the monitor board. I forgot about that. So you want to just take these 2 studs here that are on the bottom, and you just want to slide them in here. Let me make sure you guys can see. So you're going to take these 2 right here, and you'll notice they line up just right. And you just slide them down, and you want to hold it kind of flush and square. And then you just want to tighten these up, and that'll lock that on there. And got it. Look at that. It's starting to look like something. What are we, like 6 minutes into this video? I hope that's the right way. I think it is, though. It's got to have enough room for that monitor in there. Alright, let's just throw the other side on real fast. Get the lighting out of my way. Same thing, I'm going to take these 2 bottom studs, slide them right into the slot, male to female. Just barely half a turn of a screw, just a part of a screw, and they're mated. Doesn't feel real solid on that one, but I will take this back out and fix this off camera. I think it's in there real solid. Yeah, it's kind of wobbly. I'll fix that in a second, though. Maybe, I don't think it was slid in all the way. But now it's starting to take shape. We can see what it looks like. You can see how easy it is to actually put this together. Really, the only steps: insert the white things, hit them with the rubber mallet, screw down the studs, and let them smash. And then we just continue to smash pieces together until we have what looks like a bar top arcade cabinet. And then we start applying guts. Sorry about that. Catching my tripod on cords. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this off. I have to go to the bathroom and get something cold to drink. And then we'll go ahead and throw this all together in one little step. It should just go just like that. I mean, we don't have to put any buttons or joysticks on right now, so it'll be nice and easy. All right, I'll be right back. Alright, we need to give it some stability. Hang on, I gotta adjust my mic, sorry. It's sitting right on my throat. Alright, so we need to give it some stability. So I'm going to put the speaker panel, which I assume is going to be above the monitor and below the marquee. So it should just slide in here. We only need to do one side at a time. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not what I was trying to do. Okay, screwdriver. These don't want to turn. It's a really awkward angle to hold it at. I don't like that at all. These little IKEA dudes, they're not working as well as they normally do. And it's probably user error. Probably nothing wrong with them. And it seems to spin fine. Maybe I just don't have good leverage. Sorry, this mic is cramping my style right now. Oh, I'm gonna have to take this off of here. It's not gonna work at that weird goofy angle. Try it like this. Get a hold of the damn thing. There we go. Got it on there that time. What happened to that one? This one just bent on this side. Oh, come on. Well, now it doesn't want to come off of there. I guess it's not such a bad thing. I can see it now. It's almost there. There we go. Now I got that side. Wow, that was a little difficult. It's usually not that difficult. This stupid mic. It does not like this sweatshirt for some reason. Okay, so let's go back and put the ones on the bottom again. There's probably going to be a lot of trial and error like this because we don't have the exact steps on which piece first. So we're probably going to have to go, oh, we should have did this first, should have did that first. That's kind of a bad thing about not having instructions, but there's only so many pieces, so we will figure it out. Okay, let's get this side now. push up from the bottom, it seems to help. I'm trying to pop out too. Okay. So much for that. Hopefully you could see some of what I was doing. I should back up a little bit. Okay, so let's decide what next. I can see the back of this is going to be a little bit difficult to figure out. We got our hinges are going to screw in here. They're going to tuck into these holes over here. But I'm sure I'm going to have to stop the camera and sit there and cuss for a second trying to figure that out. So the little guy, the admin panel, I assume goes here. But at what angle? Oh, those things are already screwed and turned around. I'm screwed. That would help. Oh, that's a Missouri term. Oh, I'm not sure if it's OPP, OP, or OPE. Not the greatest angles on this thing, but I'm sure it'll do just fine. Okay, other side here. I do believe this is the monitor mounting board. It'll probably go here. Turn it around again. Everything should start sliding together a little easier now because it's all getting tightened up and going to the spots that it should rest permanently. This is terribly difficult. There's probably going to be some people mad that I'm showing everybody how to do this and how easy it is, but I think the market for these things is kind of gone now that the arcade one-ups are out. I'm not going to see these things for $10,000 anymore. Okay, we have the control panel we can do. That's going to be a tough one, isn't it? How? Oh, is this? I think this is done this before. You can get it on here and spin it after you get it on here. That. Oh, yeah. That's what I mean. Just turn for me. It's almost there. Okay. Alright. Yep. Nice. That's actually kind of handy. And when we're wiring it later, you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Next we have the back and the top. Let's go ahead and do the top. Those are both going to be hard, no matter what. If we put this on first or this on first, looks like either one's going to be a pain in the ass. So we can kind of shoot over from the side. We might be able to. Kind of, sort of, not really. Alright, I got that one to turn. Get the right angle on it. Back on there. I don't think it'll be so bad. Ugh. I need my music turned back on. Know if I can get my phone to do it. I'm going to pause it so I can. I'm tired of the silence. Alright. Just had to get something. They keep getting me on copyrighted music, so I just made my own. Alright, so we have the big back piece. Oh, we got to do the back side of these two. My screwdriver out from underneath here. Okay, these are going to be much easier to get to. Maybe not at the right angle, though. Let me see if I can find my stubby. I hope it's not at work. Still can't really get the right angle. Thanks, guys. I don't think you can't really get to it this way either. I do it the other way. It's one of those things that's a pain in the ass, I guess. Well, I don't have to worry about getting it on there exactly perfect right now anyway, but Jesus Christ, that's a pain in the ass. That's not going to be easy. I'm going to have to try to find that. I got one of those little bits that bends and goes around corners. Either that or I'm going to have to take it off and do it again. That's awful. Okay. Now we got to figure out this backdoor monstrosity. So it seems to me like it's only hooked up from the hinge. Just sit in here all loosey-goosey like this. Swings open. Can't really see. Okay, here's another latch. That's on the inside. So this part obviously is going to go in the big round hole, duh. There's not any holes for these screws. Alright, let me figure this out while I'm sitting here just giving you all this great dead hair. Alright, basically, those things, you can see it, they just slide it. Oh. If you get one of these cabinets, you'll see it. It just pops in and there's a little circular hole there. Why don't I have any light on it? There we go. So they just pop in those little circular holes, and then keep this light on here, hopefully. And see, they just pop out of there. There's no weird action or anything like that. And then on this end, what I had to do was just put these little brackets in there to figure out which way it was. And then they have a little thumb spot right here to actually latch them into place. So hopefully this will be easy. Nothing's ever easy. Hopefully you guys don't have to deal with any problems like that. It's just, I don't know if you can see it, sorry. It's just kind of off kilter a little bit. Like these two holes weren't lined up with the two drilled for each side on the other side of this latch. See, as soon as you pull it out, it falls down. So you kind of got to lift it up and screw it down a little bit more. I also found out that on these, flathead works better than a Phillips. You can really wrench it and get it tightened. I'm just going to keep playing with this. It seems like the more I undo screws and then tighten them back up in different places in different orders, it gets a little bit better. I do remember from building these before that there are some that you don't want to tighten at first, or you don't want to put on at first, because if you tighten them, it'll cause them to bind somewhere else. And it's really, really tough to get it in here. It'll go in there, but I had it in there anyway. Bend it way down. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass, and then that's not going to work for my customer. I need to be able to shut that. I don't think that's really anything wrong with what the company did. I just think you can kind of see where it's just, I don't know. I think it's user error, but kind of looks like this hinge just isn't sitting right. This one's kind of flush. This one's kind of up in the air. So maybe I need to dig that hole out a little bit. I don't know. I will figure that out, though. Before I give it to the customer, I'm also going to put some kind of latch on it back here. What the hell is going on? This thing hates me today. Okay. I mean, it is just a hair away from fitting in there. Especially if I push from the inside. I can't really get a hold of it. Just go in your home. Ow. Smash my face. Great. And see if there's a little block just inside here right after this thing is flush, then it'll stop and you won't push it in too far. So I think I'll shoot something down in there. But there she is. I have a monitor over there that we can install. I have the side art that we'll take a look at here in just a second before we wrap up. And we have the T-molding we can put on still. We have some stuff we can do, a wire harness and the power supply. Even though there's one coming in the kit, I have one we can use, get it started, and just be ready for it. Hopefully just throw buttons and joysticks and stuff in it. And but let me catch my breath, calm down, stop cussing at this thing for my own faults, and I'll come back and show you the art. It's pretty cool. Pretty excited about it. We are at a good stopping point. No, you didn't miss anything. I just threw joysticks and buttons in there just to see what it looked like and kind of get the feel for it. And the monitor will actually be, it'll lay flat. That's actually still on a stand. I just set it up in there. I want to show you guys the art and make enough room for myself here. So I did peek at it a little bit, and it looks pretty cool. And this is the other reason why this is a game elf. going to be installed is because of the game that it's themed after is only on this one board. Okay. Need a drum roll. Just want one piece of side art. Oh, that all came out. Dang it. You're going to ruin my surprise. Why can't I ever do anything like this? I touch something and like everything falls over. Oh, that's great. As I knock my soda over. Alright, here we go. Ta-da! Hopefully this fits. Okay, it looks really close. I think we're okay. I think it fits. But this game is on the Game Elf horizontal board. It's probably best played with a trackball, but we're not going that route. But it is on there, and the art was probably one of the cooler options out of like 6 or 7 that were available for that price. Really good. So rounded. I can't tell. It doesn't look to be exact, does it? I don't know. I'm not going to worry about that. That's for another day. Anyway, ta-da! It's Atari Star Wars. It's going to be cool, though. I want to do, the buttons and joysticks aren't going to be like that. I want to do either blue and red or green and red, like Luke and Vader's lightsabers. I'm not going to go all crazy into the light up joysticks and all that. But anyway, thanks for watching. We'll probably do the art in the next 2 or 3 days, 4 or 5 days tops. So stay tuned and check it out. We should have this whole thing done as soon as the board gets here, which will probably be in 3-4 weeks. All right. See you in the next one. So these 2 right here are going to be ground and 5 volt. So what do we get here? Did I not turn the game on? I didn't turn the game on. I guess that would help. Hang on.
Here it is. A nice little trade. The person I traded got what they wanted. I got what I wanted. And a pretty good deal on it too.
Super hang on. Get what I want.
That comes later.
Yeah.
Okay. It's on fire.
What happened? Whoa.
Lots of smoke.
Well, that's bad.
Yep. Well, thanks for watching.
When you take care of people, people take care of you in this community.
That's the truth.
So everyone, please remember that. Even if we're competitors, we're not enemies.